where do things stand with Pickett and Dylan Gabriel right now, Mary Kay Cabot?
Right now, they are both dealing with hamstring injuries. It's so ironic. I've been asking Joe about this. How is the 40-year-old guy the only one that hasn't missed a snap? But Kenny and Dylan have those hamstrings, and they're not going to play in this game. They're not doing 11 on 11s right now. They didn't do them today in practice. They're limited to 7 on 7s. They're taking it easy with these guys. And this team is heading off to Philadelphia next week for 2 practices there and a game there. I don't see how you play Kenny Pickett in that game either if you're trying to get him to the season healthy. So in my mind, it's starting to look like Joe's job. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, so the idea of bringing 4 into 53 is not going to happen, right, Mary Kay?
No, I think it is going to happen.
You do?
I think, yes, I do. I think all 4 of these quarterbacks are going to make the team. I really do think that it's going to be a matter of Joe and Kenny getting things started off for this football team. And then I know that the Browns would love to see, if they can, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in some live action at some point this season, because they have decisions to make next year. They've got 2 first-round picks. It's a rich QB class, and they're going to want to see what they have in Dylan and Shedeur. So at some point, I think they'll turn it over to the rookies.
Mary Kay Cabot, a few minutes left here with the Cleveland Browns Insider. Covered the Browns for over 30 years here on the Rich Eisen Show. What else is happening with the Browns that we're clearly not talking about because we're so focused on who the quarterback is?
Well, I'm going to stick with the quarterback room for another minute.
Okay.
So they brought in, they brought in Tyler Huntley just yesterday. So he suited up, he practiced today, and he will relieve Shedeur in this game. But then I looked out there today, and for the first time, I saw Deshaun Watson out there on the practice field, not in practice clothes, because he's on PUP and he is still he is recovering from his retorn Achilles. But it was just weird to look out there and see 6 quarterbacks. You know the old saying, if you have 6 quarterbacks, you don't have one.
Right.
But Deshaun Watson was out there, and that just is an interesting twist to this whole thing, because I know he's determined to play and he's determined to join the mix at some point. I don't know if the Browns will ever let him do that. He's on PUP right now. I don't think he'll be even healthy until October or November. But to look out there and to see 5 quarterbacks in uniform practicing, and then also Deshaun Watson, it was kind of a bizarre sight.
I'm sure. Let's just linger there for a second. And I guess, the future at the quarterback position in Cleveland is exactly why somebody brought up Arch Manning to Jimmy and Dee Haslam the other day. You know what I mean? Like it's, as if who's starting week 1 and how do you get through the 18-game crucible of 2025 is not enough. You're looking over the steering wheel.
Well, yeah. In addition to watching all of these quarterbacks this year, I really have to do something I usually don't have a lot of time to do, and that is hunker down and watch some college football on Saturdays too. So that's going to be a big point of emphasis, of course, for the Browns this season, to see what Arch Manning is up to. Although when we asked Jimmy Haslam about him last week, he said he thinks Arch is going to stay in school for at least 2 years. And Jimmy would probably know, because he knows the Manning family, as you know, very, very well. So that's his prediction, that he might not be available to them. But it's not going to stop them from going to the games, from scouting him, and from being very ready to pull the trigger if they need to on Arch. So obviously he's one that they'll watch. They'll watch all of the others. And, they're really going to have an eye on that 26 QB class.
How's my guy Mason Graham looking?
He's looking good so far.
Yeah,
he looks really good. It's fun to see him now in pads where he can really show his explosiveness. And the thing about Mason is that he's learning to do something that he didn't really do all that much at Michigan, and that is just see quarterback, get quarterback, just go for it. And, just take the leash off and go. So it's got to be pretty fun for him to be able to do that. The assignment is pretty clear.
I thought you meant losing in Ohio, because he didn't do that in college either, Mary Kay. I thought that's what you're referring to.
Of course you would point that out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to drag you to my level, Mary Kay. I didn't mean to do that. But catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.